Hey everybody, this is Jaxxsin, and I have an update on the Fallout patch for the console and the PC. Okay, the PC patch is live now. It's out of beta, and the console should arrive later this week. And in my previous video I said, who the fuck knows what's gonna happen? But you gotta understand where I was in that moment when I was recording that video. Okay, I'm pretty mad, alright? And I'm trying to hold that back because I want to explain, like, coherently what my problem is with this situation that I've got going on over here. Okay? And I'm gonna try to do that in this video. Okay? Now, I'd like to say this first, is that regardless if this patch fixes the Underground Undercover Desdemona bug, whether this patch fixes it or not, okay, there is still the Rocket's Red Glare, which is the next quest in line for the railroad ending, which also bugged out on me. Okay? And that's where I'm going to get into a little bit. I'm going to talk about this a little bit. And here's the way I see it, and this is just how I'm cutting it apart in my mind. Okay? So, I'm comparing Fallout 4 to Fallout 3. Okay? It's been a long time since I played Fallout 3. Okay, the conditions under which I played Fallout 3 were as such. Okay, I was a junkie. I never had money, and I stopped playing video games a lot. I still played the GameCube, you know, some NFL Street, some SSX Tricky, like stuff like that with friends all night and stuff. You know what I mean? That was some good stuff to play when you were on drugs. Okay, played Resident Evil 4. You know, but the thing is that I wasn't playing current games at that time because I just didn't have the money for it, right? I'm a poor boy. And when I'm on drugs, I'm more than poor, right? I'm flat broke. So, you also, during this time, I'm on two antidepressants. I'm on one sleeping pill that is also, could be prescribed as an antidepressant. And I'm also on something for low thyroid levels or some such bullshit like that, right? So I'm taking all four of those, plus I'm on drugs, okay? So I want to quit drugs, okay? It gets to that point where it's time to be done. So I quit, and the way I quit is I get another prescription, so I'm on this Suboxone shit, right? This stuff is so strong that a heroin addict like myself, who is on regular pain pills and stuff, like they gave me 30 a month. Okay, one for each day of the month. I would use probably 7 of those. Okay, maybe 7. And I sold the rest. And at that point in time, like I rebought myself a PlayStation 3 because I was selling these things, you know, and I started to get back into it. And I bought Oblivion. I played that, you know, and that was when I heard about Fallout 3 because the dudes at the Game Crazy were telling me about it. So I pre-ordered it. I got the Lunchbox bobblehead edition, you know, with this extra DVD and like the pamphlet with the art book and shit like that, right? I got all that stuff. Played Fallout 3, and my first gameplay I did like a good play, you know, like I was good to an extent. Like obviously it's hard to maintain max karma in that game with, you know, like all the different, because it was so intricate, right? It was very intricate. You were reading all of the options of dialogue. You know, like, because you could screw up. Any given situation, you know, you could screw up if you picked the wrong dialogue, okay? There was a randomness to it, a uniqueness to it, okay? And I remember this, in this game, after I quit, so I was going to be off my insurance, so my drug habit had to end, okay? And I wanted it to end more than I wanted to continue using drugs, okay? So I said, my insurance is almost done. You know, I'm not going to be able to afford these shits. I'm done with them. And I quit them all. And when that happened, that was shitty. That was shitty time in my life, man. And I remember one of the first games I replayed and actually gave a shit about playing was Fallout 3. Okay? And that was when I did, like, the fucking evil playthrough where you blow up, you know, Megaton with the nuke, and you go to Tenpenny Tower and you do all that stuff. And I just kind of went anarchy mode because there weren't a lot of quests to do as far as the evil side, so I just kind of went anarchy and started killing everything. It was fun. I enjoyed it. Okay, not once on either of my playthroughs through that game did I encounter any sort of bug like I encountered in Fallout 4. Okay, and not only that, on both playthroughs, my experience was incredibly unique. Okay, it was like, you know, going from good to evil, and it felt that way. And so now I'm playing Fallout 4. Obviously, Fallout 3 was very important to me and was there for a keep. You know, it was important to me. Okay, I loved that game, dude. I loved everything about it. It was something that I had never, aside from Oblivion, which I had played, you know, which that was my selling point on this game. But it was like nothing that I'd ever played before, ever. And it was such an awesome, awesome game, an awesome idea. So, Fallout 4 has moved away from that. My experience with Fallout 4 was really, really good. I enjoyed it. I even have a video, I'll have a link to it down below, where I sing its praises the night of release. Okay? Because I just got done playing it for like 12 hours, and I was like, dude, I still want to play it. You know, and I was enjoying myself. I was just exploring, doing side quests. Like, I had just barely gone, you know, to start doing. I reached the Pride win shortly after I made that video. And, or maybe I reached it before that. I can't recall. Either way, that night, I was 12 hours, man, into that, and I was chugging energy drinks, man. I was loving it. Okay? So fast forward about 5-6 days of gameplay, and I've done a lot of I've done everything that I can find. I've done everything that I can think of. I've worked my ass off to, you know, just explore everything and make sure I get everything, and I keep running into things that I can't complete or things that don't make sense, which bugs me because I'm somewhat of a completionist. And not only that, I'm just curious. You know, I see things happening and I want to know what's going on and how can I participate. Does this have to do with me? I mean, I am the player, so I'm the central focal point of this game, right? Now, when I hit that wall with Desdemona, it ruined it for me, man. It really did. Now, is it fair to say that the game is bad because me and, like, you know, however many thousands of people who bought it out of the millions experienced this bug and had their fucking experience ruined? Right? No, it's not. I mean, if you're on the PC, you're going to have an entirely different experience. You know, you still might encounter this bug or the Rocket's Red Glare bug because they're both on PC. Not the Rocket's Red Glare, or I mean, not the Underground Undercover anymore. That one's been fixed. But the Rocket's Red Glare, the next in line, that one will bug out. That happened on my second playthrough. And the thing about my second playthrough is I didn't want to do it. I was mad at the game. I wanted to see if I wanted this ending. Right? I couldn't get it on the character that I invested like 7-8 hours of, you know, gameplay into. I couldn't get it on him. So I started a new character. I used the special bug where you fucking glitch out the special book with dog meat and you fucking just jack your stats up. I did that because I didn't want to have that early game curve of where you're just superiorly, you're outgunned, right? You're outgunned, you're outmanned, you know, there's that curve in every RPG, okay? And Fallout 4's was really good the first time I did it. But returning to this game on the second playthrough, I was just like, I want this ending that I earned. So I'm going to work towards it as fast as I can. Okay? So I did all of the side stuff, everything up until I started to choose the people. The side you wanted to go with. And I got a hard save. And so I went and I did the Brotherhood ending it went off without a hitch. Which I had already, if I hadn't mentioned previously, I'd already done the Institute ending. Okay? Now, I'm going to do the fucking Railroad ending after I did the Brotherhood ending. Because I'd already done enough things with the Brotherhood, I was like, it'll be easier to push through this first. So I go to do the Railroad ending and I hit it, but I finally finished the Underground Undercover. In the next quest, Tom dies and Desdemona is bugged out the exact same way. At this point, it is safe to say that not only has my faith been shaken, but I've spent a lot of time with the game. And I'm starting to notice things where I feel like it's obvious that Bethesda has made the switch from developer to publisher seemingly, like seamlessly. They've done it so easily. And the thing that you can tell the difference between the developer's version of the game and the publisher's version of the game. Fallout 4's endgame is Fallout Shelter. Okay? Like, it's either Fallout Shelter or a bunch of repeatable quests that are always the same. Okay? So you could argue that the end game in Fallout 4 is Fallout Shelter. That's what base building in Fallout 4 is, but less intricate. So my feelings on this is, as a publisher, they see that, well, how can we increase, profitability of Fallout 4 upon release? Well, let's pay these people over here to make us a fucking app, to get the hype going, and then we'll institute something of that sort into this. And I feel like this was a decision that was made later on. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I enjoy the base building in Fallout 4. But as endgame content, it's very weak. Like I say, if you're on the PC, which I do not blame you. If you want to play a Bethesda game, you probably play it on a PC. I have a friend who had one of those random bugs in fucking Fallout 3. Totally ruined his experience. He will never play a Bethesda game on a console again. In fact, he will only ever play, I think that was seriously his breaking point with consoles. Like, it was that shitty of an experience. But my experience with Fallout 3 was awesome. I didn't experience that rare bug, you know what I mean? And if you're on the PC, you're able to build bases and then you can mod in enemies, right? Like, I'm sure that's a thing. I mean, I watched a video where this guy recreated the Helm's Deep battle in his base, right? Like, if I could do that sort of shit, I'd be interested. But I can't. Okay? I can't. I'm on the console. So as a console guy, as a couch guy, dude, like, Fallout 4, I don't know. I feel like the focus with Fallout 4 was profitability and not... It wasn't... The focus needed to be on Fallout 4. Alright? It didn't need to be on money, right? And they say... And this is... I'm going to veer away a little bit. And don't get me wrong, I'm paranoid, but I'm fucking smart, okay? So my paranoia is often bound in fact or prior knowledge of other, I am smart, okay? And when I see that them say and reveal this, that Destiny, they had sent developers over there to help them with their shooting or something, and then I played, Destiny for like 3 months. Okay, like 3 months total game time. I played Fallout 4 for 7 days on one character and like 3 on the other, right? So, the shooting's nothing alike. Okay? And I think if you ask anyone who's played both of those games, if they're being honest with you, it's just, there's no similarity. So what's Destiny's doing? What are the devs over there doing? What are they doing over there? Alright? Maybe they tell them about how successful their mobile app has been in sync with the game. You know what I mean? Maybe they tell them that they should have, people sign into their website and have to sign in order to read patch notes. I don't know, man. But I'm sorry. I think it's apparent with the release of Fallout 4, and it's sad. It's sad. But I think it's apparent that Bethesda has made that shift from developer to publisher. And to be a successful publisher, we all know what moves you have to make, because they make them all the time. You see them. If you're looking for them, you see them. If you're smart and you're looking, you'll see them. You won't be fooled. I see too much casual shit going on here. There's just this space of emptiness that felt like it was just taken or wasn't created to begin with. And I mean, the problem with that really is just that the game suffered. The game and the people who bought this day one suffered. Because, I mean, they're, as a publisher, they're going to be more willing to cut corners and let a game come out that has, you know, not only 2-3 main missions bugged, but countless other bugs that are being discovered because they just, you know, they sold so many of them, you know. And I feel like there should have been more focus prior to release in testing. I don't know how else to say that. Like, I can't conceive that they missed all of these. I feel like they just rushed it out. They wanted it out there. They wanted to vie for Game of the Year 2015. You know, they did the Conan push, you know. They were sending YouTube reviewers fucking Vault-Tec suits and Pit Boys, you know. And how is that guy going to be critical of that game? You know, he's going to feel guilty. Like, look at this amazing suit. You know what I mean? Like, they sent me. And how are you going to trust that person's opinion on the game? Are you even going to care? Or do you just want to hear that it's really good? And do you want to hear that it's really good by a couple of people dressed up in Pit Vault suits and, you know, fucking Pit Boy? You know what I mean? Like, I didn't get any of that stuff. You know what I mean? And I'm not jealous or anything like that. I just mention it because I'm able to do a review on Fallout 4 that is completely unbiased, because I don't give a fuck about Bethesda. I don't care about hurting their feelings. I don't give a shit. They are a nameless, faceless corporation to me. And I say corporation. I say corporation. Alright? And you pay attention to that. And you pay attention to what the direction these AAA titles are taking. You pay attention to this shit, guys. You just watch. Alright? I had a commenter the other day, like, bitching me out for one of my videos on Destiny because he had spent $500 in Destiny and he still loved it. And who am I to bitch when I've only spent $90, right? He spent $500 on a $60 title. Okay? Now just keep your eyes on these. Watch the direction that these companies and these publishers, they start taking these games. Alright? Because it don't matter if the most brilliant group of people work on a game and make that game amazing. If they have a publisher back there, like some sort of fucking, I don't know, man, like mob man, there to collect some money. You know what I mean? Like some sort of piece of shit gangster, you know, robbing motherfuckers. Okay? Don't matter. If that person's there, then that game will be corrupted. And its direction will be in one way only, and that is profitability. And if Destiny has become as profitable as they have become on all of these shady business tactics and all of that, and Fallout 4 can release a game that has multiple bugs, not only in story, but in gameplay, in environment, you know, in VATS. If they can basically say, we're going to sell this game to you so you can test it so we can finish it. Okay? These are the things that are happening. And these are big games by big heavy hitters with a lot of money to throw around. The kind of money to fucking change an industry. Change a fucking industry. Okay? And you know, look at how many microtransactions worked their way into games in 2015. Welcome to the new DLC. We just got to accept it, right? They do it slow. They bleed you dry, but they do it slow. A penny, a nickel, a quarter, $1, $10, $20. Before you know it, you've spent $500 on a $60 title. And you've helped reshape the fucking industry. That's it for me. I'm out of here, man. Those are my opinions on them. Those are my opinions on it, man. That's just from some dude who just pays attention. I love you guys. Take care of yourselves. Try to keep your eyes open out there. Let's stop this shit, man. We can do it. We're the motherfuckers with the money. They ain't shit without us. Later, everybody.